I call this a little unusual type of salad. The primary ingredients are brown rice, sweet potato, onions, garlic, celery, which I'm going to saute with the mushrooms, and the kale is not going to be cooked. No stems, chopped up in little pieces so it folds in good with the rice. So we're going to cook the rice. And then also some red peppers, which will not be cooked. So let's first cook the rice. There's salt in there, Himalayan pink salt, olive oil. If you don't have chicken stock, which I don't because I didn't make any, then I will use water. I will not use that store-bought stuff. So while this is cooking, then you can go about dicing up all your vegetables. It doesn't have to be very hot. So let's put in everything that we're going to cook. And there's salt. There is salt in here and thyme, the onions, the garlic. Why I leave the garlic whole? That's for people who like to get a chunk of garlic in their mouth. And one of them is me. You don't have to leave it whole. And why did I choose sweet potato? Because I like the texture, I like the taste, and all these things can work together. You can do whatever you want in cooking. If someone doesn't like this, so they don't like it. But if it comes out the way I expect, being that this is the first time I've made this concoction, I think it's going to work out. The things I make usually do, not for everyone, but I'm looking for vegetables in my diet, getting away from trying to be a pescatarian, like seafood and vegetables, fish. My wife won't like that because she loves to eat meat. So we'll have meat in the house for her. So this will take a few minutes. The flame's not too high. The sweet potatoes have to cook. So I'll be back in about, let's say this is going to take about 10 minutes. Well, as a side note, if I covered this, it would cook faster. But it would also release a lot of moisture. And I don't want that. I want this to be dry going into the mixture of the rice and the kale. And I'll tell you right now, this has a nice aroma. Cooking mushrooms and garlic and these vegetables always smells great. You know, this might take about 15 minutes or so, and constant stirring. And you know when it's ready, when the sweet potato is soft, firm, but not crunchy. So let me taste. Almost there. Another 5 minutes. Okay, the rice is cooked. This has been sitting out. This is room temperature. The rice is room temperature. Hopefully this will look good after I put it together. I'm pretty sure it'll taste good also. So we're going to put 2 tablespoons of virgin olive oil in there, and then we'll add everything else. The kale. Now when I mix this up and it's not enough kale, well then I'm just going to add more to it. That's not a big deal. That was the peppers, the red onion, the scallions, the parsley, and I'm not using any vinegar, I'm using, the lemon juice. I put the lemon juice in with the peppers already. I like using fresh lemon juice in dressings instead of using vinegar. Now the only reason why I would add more kale is if it doesn't look like it's enough. Okay, so I'm looking at this. Everything looks good, except the amount of kale. So let me get some more kale and mix it in. Well, now it looks more like it. So the amount will be in the description. Now we'll put this on a plate. Put a little romaine lettuce on the bottom and tomatoes around. There's a couple of ways of doing this. You could take a large ice cream scoop. Do I have one sitting here? Let me see how this is. Just for effect. Now that looks good. So then, what I'm going to add to this is not on the recipe, but it's something that I enjoy in everything that I make, even my breakfast, are almonds. So I'm going to put some almonds and some tofu. Tofu is good for you, but this is not part of the recipe. This is just for me. I throw this into almost everything that I eat. So there you go. I hope you enjoy it. That's quite a bit. But I'm going to have 2 scoops. There you go. So if that's 1 portion, there's enough here, 1, 2, 3, 4, for about 5 portions like that. I hope you enjoy it.